Page 2 of 8, reading the PDF on the CIA.gov website about MKUltra. Division followed by the word Ultra, which had previously been used to designate the most secret classification of World War II intelligence. Other related cryptonyms include MK Naomi and MK Delta. A precursor of the MKUltra program began in 1945 when the Joint Intelligence Operatives Agency was established and given direct responsibility for Operation Paperclip. Operation Paperclip was a program to recruit former Nazi scientists. Some of these scientists studied torture and brainwashing, and several had just been identified and prosecuted as war criminals during the Nuremberg trials. Several secret U.S. government projects grew out of Operation Paperclip. These projects include Project Chatter, established 1947, and Project Bluebird, established 1950, which was later renamed to Project Artichoke in 1951. The purpose was to study mind control, interrogation, behavior modification, and related topics. Headed by Dr. Sidney Gottlieb, the MKUltra project was started on the order of CIA Director Allen Dulles on April 13, 1953. Largely in response to the Soviet, Chinese, and North Korean use of mind control techniques on U.S. prisoners of war in Korea. The CIA wanted to use similar methods on their own captives. The CIA was also interested in being able to manipulate foreign leaders with such techniques, and would later invent several schemes to drug Fidel Castro. Experiments were often without the subject's knowledge or consent. In some cases, academic researchers being funded through grants from CIA front organizations were unaware that their work was being used for these purposes. In 1964, the project was renamed MK Search. The project attempted to produce the perfect truth drug for use in interrogating suspected Soviet spies during the Cold War, and generally to explore any other possibilities of mind control. Another MKUltra effort, Subproject 54, was the Navy's top-secret perfect concussion program, which used suboral frequency blasts to erase memory. Because most MKUltra records were deliberately destroyed in 1973 by order of then CIA Director Richard Helms, it has been difficult, if not impossible, for investigators to gain a complete understanding of the more than 150 individually funded research subprojects sponsored by MKUltra and the related CIA programs. Goals. The agency poured millions of dollars into studying, probing dozens of methods of influence and controlling the mind. One 1955 MKUltra document gives an indication of the size and range of the effort. This document refers to the study of an assortment of mind-altering substances described as follows. Substances which will promote illogical thinking and impulsiveness to the point where the recipient would be discredited in public. Substances which increase the efficiency of mentation and perception. Materials which will prevent or counteract the intoxicating effect of alcohol. Materials which will promote the intoxicating effect of alcohol. Materials which will produce the signs and symptoms of recognized diseases in a reversible way so that they may be used for malingering, etc. Materials which will render the induction of hypnosis easier or otherwise enhance its usefulness. Substances which will enhance the ability of individuals to withstand privation, torture, and coercion during interrogation and so-called brainwashing. Materials and physical methods which will produce amnesia for effects preceding and during their use. Physical methods of producing shock and confusion over extended periods of time and capable of surreptitious use. Substances which produce physical disablement, such as paralysis of the legs, acute amnesia, etc. Substances which will produce pure euphoria with no subsequent letdown. Substances which alter personality structure in such a way that the tendency of the recipient to become dependent on another person is enhanced. A material which will cause mental confusion of such a type that the individual under its influence will find it difficult to maintain a fabrication under questioning. Substances which will lower the ambition and general working efficiency of the men when administered in undetectable amounts. Substances which promote weakness or distortion of the eyesight or hearing faculties, preferably without permanent effects. A knockout pill which can surreptitiously be administered in food or drinks, food, alcohol, or cigarettes or aerosol, etc., which will be safe to use, provide a maximum of amnesia, and be suitable for use by agent types on an ad hoc basis. A material which can be surreptitiously administered by the above routes and which in very small amounts will make it impossible for a man to perform any physical activity whatsoever. Historians have asserted that creating a Manchurian candidate subject through mind control techniques was the goal of the MKUltra and related CIA projects. Dr. Sidney Gottlieb approved an MKUltra subject on LSD in this June 9th, 1953 letter.